What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today is Friday and I thought what better day to get you motivated and talk about movement than today. You have all weekend to start applying new movements to your life. If you're one that works all week, maybe you're sitting down, maybe you're even moving at work, but it's more stressful moving, trying to get things done. Then the weekend comes around and you're like exhausted and you don't want to do anything, so you just sit down and watch TV and catch up on your shows. That goes on for a few weeks, a few months, a few years. You're a little bit overweight now, you're a little bit weaker than you used to be, and you're no longer feeling as hot as you used to. Physically, mentally, you're just sort of drained. Some of the people that I've been helping out have been music producers, so they're sitting at their computer for hours on end, and I recommend just going for little breaks and taking walks, instead of taking a break and going to do something else like looking at your phone or starting to watch TV. I recommend going out and starting to walk around, because it's been proven time and time again, just in the data alone, that going for walks, like they've done studies where they've had people meditate for a few weeks and then had people go for walks every day for a few weeks, and the people who meditated obviously had some benefits and felt more relaxed and were definitely taking care of their stress, but it was the ones who were taking the daily walks every day that had significant amounts of stress relief and the most change and the most improvement on their stress. And from what I understand from the things that I've been seeing and reading is that when you go for a walk, that's for one, it's calming. Leave your phone at home if you can. If you're feeling safe that way, just leave it in your back pocket or in your backpack so that you're not looking at it. Because when you're on a walk, the part that's helping you relieve stress is not only the movement and getting the blood flowing, but it's actually looking around. And they say that in the moment, if you're having like a panic attack or some sort of anxiety and you can't go for a walk, that just looking side to side rapidly actually helps calm your nerves a little bit and helps ease your anxiety. When you're out taking a walk, be present with that. Go and look at the trees and look at the buildings, because like I just mentioned, it's you can just sit down and look left to right, and that's actually like telling your brain that it's somewhat tricking your brain that you're taking a walk. So it simulates that kind of like feeling in your brain, and then that's what makes it so you calm down. But I mean, obviously if you can go and take a walk, I recommend going to do that. If you're able to start running soon, definitely start doing that as well, because I'm sure you've heard of the runner's high, and people get that from running, people get that from working out, people get that from doing more cardiovascular movements. But that's something that's real too, that people get, and it's not always this thing where when you're running you feel like a euphoria. It's more like you'll realize that in conversations you're not getting so upset with people, or that you're a little bit more easy to deal with, or that you deal with people a little bit easier. It comes in many forms, but the data shows that moving once a day will definitely ease stress and get you into the right state of mind that you want to be in. So I don't want to recommend going out and just starting to run unless you're physically able to. I recommend starting with walks, getting used to that, and then running. Try to do your runs early in the morning, because when we wake up, our cortisol levels are the highest they ever will be throughout the day on their own. So they're already pretty high when you wake up. That's why you feel a little stressed out, and waking up is actually like one of the most stressful things that we do in the day. So I recommend, if you can, right out of bed, go and take your walk in the morning, or go and do some like burpees or jumping jacks or something to get the blood flowing and get that movement, because movement is super important. I also want to add on to that and recommend some other things that you can do around the house that will help with flexibility and just mobility in general. One thing I want to mention is that my grandparents are about the same age from both sides, both my grandpas, and one of them had 2 knee surgeries, and they both drove for a living. One of them was a bus driver, the other one was a freight lift operator, so like a diesel truck. So they both drove for a long period of time throughout their years, and one of my grandparents had to have surgeries on both of his knees, and the other one has yet to have any surgeries and is still moving around like great. And the difference is, the one that didn't have to have surgery, he lays on the floor, and he has like tile floor. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's tile or carpet. I'm sure carpet's more comfortable, but he lays on the floor like almost every day to watch TV with the family. In order to get off the floor, he has to, get up and move around, and just to get on the floor, those are all movements. These are things that we've been doing, since the beginning of men. We've been doing these kind of movements, and that's been keeping us healthy. But then we stopped because our jobs, school, cars, just all these things made us conform to like chairs, and our bodies aren't really meant for that. If you're sitting in a chair, it's best to sit towards the edge so that your back's straight instead of trying to like relax in it. So I do believe that the reason why my grandpa that didn't have any surgeries and is still moving around is great is because it lays on the floor, sits on the floor instead of using the couches like my grandma. His wife, actually, my grandma, is, and I know everyone's different, but she's, even having trouble getting up and getting off the couch now, but that's because she sits in the couch only. If she was sitting on the floor as well, I do believe that she would still have a little bit more mobility and more than she has now. So it's hard to say though, because I can't like have them go back in time and do this and change things. I'm just going off of what I've been learning and what I've been seeing in my life. And for me and my girlfriend, we sit down to watch TV on the floor, and we get down on the floor a lot. We have a really big, beautiful couch that we use, but a lot of times when I'm feeling like uncomfortable or just whatever, my back's starting to hurt, I will move it down to the floor. Or when I'm working on my computer for long periods of time, I will sit on the floor with a raised little, with something to raise my computer up so that I'm not hunched over. I'm more straight back, obviously. And then just knee sitting, adding that to your life, adding crisscross applesauce, just laying on the floor, every once in a while, and just getting up from that position, because it's all about that, getting up from that position. Back in caveman days, people weren't lifting weights to get strong. They were just going out and doing things that they needed to do to survive, and that's what made them strong. Now we don't have to do that stuff, so we're not sitting on the floor as much, and we're not getting up off the floor because we're not sitting on it. We're just getting off of our raised couch and our raised beds and sitting on our chairs that, after a while, we're not going to just want to be sitting straight the whole time. We're going to want to move around. We get antsy. Hopefully that kind of made sense in a way, because I really do think that, adding movement to your life and then doing more sitting on the floor, rolling around, being more, acting more young again, makes you feel young. I'm almost 30 years old, and I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. There was a time from, I want to say, I was doing parkour from like 16 to 18, and I wasn't really stretching then. I was just going out, going hard, hurting myself pretty much. I was good at it, but if you're not stretching and taking care of yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself, which is kind of what I was doing. There was no actual intense pains like right away, but it was like I got plantar fasciitis, and my lower back is starting to hurt a little bit, or not anymore. It was starting to hurt a little bit. I gave up on that because I thought I was getting too old for it. I don't know. My whole mindset back then was just so fixed, and I just started gaining weight. I was trying to work out, but I was just lifting heavy weights and trying to get it over with. I really wasn't engaging my core and focusing on the movements, and I just hurt myself that way. So even if you're somebody right now that's working out and lifting heavy weights, maybe go back to basics and see if you're doing with proper form, see if you're engaging your core, see if you're able to finish the rep, every single rep, all 10 or 12, whatever you're doing, consistently without sacrificing form. If you're sacrificing form, then drop the weight a little bit and get that perfectly, because your form is super important. But that's something I'm learning later on in life. I've been adding movement for the past 5 years, not intense movement like parkour, but just hanging, stretching, rolling around on the ground. I sit down on the ground a lot. I kneel down on the ground a lot. I sit on my toes, where my toes are bent underneath my feet, and I'm sitting on my knees. And that really helped the plantar fasciitis. It's gone now. I don't have that anymore. I just have a little bit of pain in the knuckle of my big toe, but I do believe that's from backflipping off of 10-foot walls and doing stupid things, jumping off of roofs, and once again not stretching and then taking care of myself afterwards. So to wrap this all up and make it all make sense, today is Friday. Maybe after your dinner, go take a walk, or after work, go take a walk, or wait till tomorrow morning and wait till the sun comes up. But put that on your planner that you're going to want to walk, and try to schedule that in every single day. And then when you're just sitting around the house watching TV, try to, sit on the floor a little bit more. If it's uncomfortable for you, put pillows so that you're sitting more up, and that if you're cross-legged and you put a ball in your lap, it'll just roll off. So you're more of that angle. And you can do the same thing when you're with your knee sits as well. So add, movement every day, and then sitting on the floor. And if you have a pull-up bar that you're not using, pull that sucker back out and hang it up, and just hang from it. Don't do any pull-ups. Just leave it in an area where you'll see it a lot, and every time you see it, just hang for as long as you can, feet off the ground. And that's something that'll just really feel good, make your back feel a lot better, shoulders, all kinds of things. So I really hope this video has helped you out, and I hope that the information made sense. I'm still working on trying to relay information, I guess more understandably, because I know that I understand things the way that I say them, but I know that I can speak very fast, and sometimes when I say things it makes sense to me, but it won't make sense to other people. So I really hope that the information came out clear, and maybe my storytelling here is getting a little bit better. I know I need to work on, the fact that I hop around a lot, but I think that in the end of the conversation, I kind of wrap it all together, hopefully. If you like any of the information in this video, or you feel like it can help somebody out, please hit that like button and share it. Always leave a comment if you have any information to share, or if you just want to say what's up. And if you like daily motivational podcast videos, I post Monday through Friday, stories from my life, vlogs, just things trying to teach people and show people to live intentionally and find happiness. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Peace.